It was collected from a man called Dougie Carter, James Dougie Carter, he was called, in about 1906, and it was collected in King's Lynn in Norfolk. And Dougie Carter was a fisherman, and he sang this song. But a few years later, maybe 15, 20 years later, the story made its way down the coast from Norfolk to Suffolk, to Aldborough, where Benjamin Britten and Henry Crabbe based their opera Peter Grimes on the story of the song. If you're familiar with Peter Grimes, then you may know that it is about the murder and torture of your cabin boy. Nice jolly subject matter. Something I don't think Dougie Carter had any experience of, but then neither do I. So this is called The Captain's Apprentice. One day this poor boy unto me was found apprentice, because of being so fatherless. I took him out of St. James's workhouse, his mother being in deep distress. One day this poor boy unto me from death, but nothing unto him did say. Up to the mainmast shroud I sent him, and kept him there all that long day. All with my marling spike I misused him, so shamefully I won't deny. And with the gasket rope I gagged him, because I could not bear his face and hands unto me expanded, his pretty face to me likewise, and by my barbarous cruel entreatment, the very next day this young boy died. So come you captains all throughout this nation, voice and warning take by me, take special care of your apprentice when you were on the raging sea. Okay, are you sitting comfortably? Are you ready for the first child ballad of the night? There'll be several more later. So again, I don't want to sort of patronise you, but I don't know. Child ballads, not actually, in fact, songs about children, as someone asked me the other night. From a series of books called The English and Scottish Ballads, which was compiled by Professor F.J. Child, Francis James Child, and there's 5 volumes, of which the first came out in 1850. And Child was actually an American academic, Professor Child. He wasn't actually English or Scottish, but he put all his favourite ballads in a book And this is in the first volume. I think it's about child 10, something like that. This is called Lord Bateman. Oh wow. One person likes it already. Or you're just applauding the chord. Lord Bateman was a noble lord of high degree. He's putting himself on board a ship, some foreign country he would go see. And he sailed east and he sailed west, he sailed into proud Turkey, where he was taken and put in prison until his life it grew quite weary. And in their prisons they grew a tree. They grew in stout, they grew in strong, and he was chained up all by the middle until his life it was almost gone. Turkey had one only daughter, a fine lady you never see. She shed a tear, she set her mind. She swore Lord Bateman she would go see. And what would you give to a brave young lady? If out of prison she set you free. Well, I have land, I am living, half Northumberland belongs to me. I'd give it all to a brave young lady. If out of prison she set me free. So she found the key from her father's pillow, poor Lord Bateman, her father's wine. Every hell they drank together. How I wish Lord Bateman you were mine. She's taken down to her father's harbour, found for him that ship of fame. Farewell, farewell, farewell Lord Bateman, 'cause I'm sure I'll never see your face again. Years had gone past. From her heart she had not been free, so she's packed up all of her cold clothing and swore Lord Bateman she would go see. And when she came to London City, cried Lord Bateman through the town. Every stranger that did pass by her did lead her on to Northumberland. Is this called Lord Bateman's castle? Is his lordship here within? Oh yes, 'cause I'm out of the port. And tell one news that I'll give to him. And tell him send me a cup of bread. Tell him send me a cup of wine. To remember the brave young lady who did release him, but he was not fined. So away, away went the proud young daughter. Away, away, away went he. He's cried Lord Bateman, my Lord Master. I'm sure Sophia will squash the sea. She has got wings on every finger, around her middle one she has three. She has no gold all about her person to buy Northumberland from under thee. And Lord Bateman then inside was true. From his heart he had not been free. I give you all of my father's stable, if my Sophia was crossed the sea. Lord Bateman then to his true love flew. From his heart he had not been so constant since walls of fire was the sea. Lord Bateman was a noble lord of high degree. He's put himself on board a ship, some foreign country he would go see. Okay, I'll sing another Vaughan Williams affiliated one. This actually comes from a wax cylinder recording. Wax cylinder recording made in about 1906 by Percy Grainger. Percy Grainger, the composer and folk song collector, was another fairly odd man. In later life, he was a concert pianist as well. In later life, he became famous for running between concert piano engagements and running onto the stage and leaping over the piano stool and playing his first chord, and at the end, leaping up and running off again. That was his gimmick. That and making his own clothes out of toweling material and various other stuff. But when he was a young man, he was one of the first folk song collectors, if not the first, where instead of using paper and pen to collect the songs, he dragged this huge wax cylinder machine made of cast iron all the way up to North Lincolnshire, where he recorded these singers. Amongst whom was a man called Mr. George Goldthorpe, who sang this song. And the other interesting thing about this song is, if you ever get a chance to go to the Vaughan Williams Memorial Library at Cecil Sharp House in Camden, you can see the actual wax cylinder machine that this was recorded on. But in the early 70s, all these recordings were released on a record called Unterbrug Fair in 1976. And before that came out, the only real way to hear them was to go to the library in Camden and ask to hear the tapes. And a man called Ashley Hutchings, a folk rock bass player, went there to try and find some songs to sing and thought he would nick the name of one of the characters in this song for his new group. And he thought no one would notice. So see if you can notice. Listen out for that. This is called Hawkstow Grange. It was arranged for 4-part choir. Alright, I've brought my choir with me. So this is called Hawkstow Grange. In Hawkstow Grange there lived an old mitre. You all do know him, as I've heard say. He married this man that's named John Bolin. They fell out all on one day. So pity them that sees him suffer, and pity them poor steel-eyed span. John Bolin's deeds will be remembered. Bolin's deeds at Hawkstow Grange. With a blackthorn stick, old steel-eyed struck him, had often threatened him before. John Bolin turned round all with a passion and struck poor Steel-Eye to the floor. So pity them that sees him suffer, pity them poor Steel-Eye span. John Bolin's deeds will be remembered. Bolin's deeds at Hawkstow Grange. Steel-Eyed span was felled by John Bolin. It happened to be on a market day. John Bolin turned round all with a passion and swore he'd take his life away. So pity them that sees him suffer, pity them poor sweet-eyed son. John Bolin's deeds will be remembered. Bowden steeds at Oxtal Grange. I'm back. Okay, I've got a couple more songs to sing you and then we'll have a quick break. I thought I'd sing something that I don't do very often, if that's right by you. Is that alright? So I don't know if... Is that on? There we go. About a year ago, this summer just gone, I've been very, very privileged to spend a bit of time with one of my all-time heroes, who's a man called Nick Jones, who a lot of people thought would probably never perform again. Because Nick Jones was probably the single greatest interpreter of traditional song and the greatest English folk guitar player of the 70s. And in 1982, on the way back from a gig, he had a very bad car accident and broke every bone in his body. And that seemed like it was all over. But a few summers ago at Sidmouth Folk Festival in Devon, a lot of us got together and sort of sang Nick's songs at him. So there was me and John Bowden and Chris Wood and Martin Simpson and my sister Jackie and loads of people. And then Nick got up and he sang 3 songs with an old band of his who were called Band Dogs at the end. And that went so well that we did the concert again at the South Bank Centre in London last year. And this time Nick got up and he sang some songs accompanied by his son Joe playing the guitar. It was absolutely fantastic. And this is one of the songs that I sang at that concert. So this is actually written by a lady called Anne Lister. And Nick recorded it or there's a live recording of it on a record called Unearthed, which I encourage you to all go and buy. But Nick's daughter Helen asked me to sing this song for him, so I did. And now I shall sing it for you. It's called Icarus. It's called Icarus. I never wanted to fly high. I was too fond of walking. And then you said you'd reach the sky. I thought it was just your way of talking. And then you said you'd build some wings. You'd figured out how it could be done. I was skeptical of everything. I never thought you'd reach the sun. Ah, but you were so clever with your hands. I'd watch you for hours. With the glue and with the rubber bands. The sellotape lace and flowers, and the finished wings they gleam so bright, like some bird of glory. I began to envy your fight, like some hero story. Oh, but it was so grand at the start to watch you soaring higher. There was a pain deep in my heart. The wind seemed tipped with fire. And as I saw your body fall, as I saw the white wings falter, so you fall like a ball of gold into the white water. Some are born to fly high, while some are born to follow. Some are born to reach the sky, while some walk in the was not the earth, just a reflection of the sun. Okay, I'll sing one more song and then we'll have a quick break for about a quarter of an hour. And I've got some CDs over there, so I'll probably be standing around there if you want to come and say hi. That would be very nice. So this is a song about a child murderer who can walk through walls. Oh yes. This is another child ballad. This is one that I've always liked the idea of, but not so much the tunes that were associated with it traditionally. So I wrote my own, because all the tunes that go with it traditionally are all a little bit jolly and don't really go with the subject matter. So I wrote a new tune. Also, I don't suppose any of you came and saw a thing I was involved with last year called the Cecil Sharp Song Project. A few of you. But one of the greatest things about that for me was working with another singer who's called Catherine Roberts. And Catherine has they're five-year-olds now, two 5-year-old twins called Poppy and Lily. And Poppy and Lily's favourite thing at the moment is going into nursery and singing some songs they've heard their mother singing around the house, which are all traditional songs about infanticide. Getting Catherine and Sean into loads of trouble. But we had a very interesting conversation in the car going around on the Sharp tour about how those sort of gory children's stories, the sort of Grimm's fairy tales, and maybe Roald Dahl as well, partly their social function is to warn children not to do things that are dangerous, like to go into the woods at night or to go anywhere with strangers. And I think at heart this song is one of those. So I put a warning in there, and the thing it's warning children not to do in this instance is to leave windows and doors open in case Long Lankin creeps in. So thank you very much for listening to me thus far. This is called Long Lankin. Beware of Long Lankin who lives in the moss. Let the doors be all bolted and the windows all bent, and leave no crack for Long Lankin to get in. But his words fell like raindrops in the heat of the day, the clang in her ears as he walked away. Fireplace, Long Lankin crept in. So was a fisher's when he cried, he's out at the hunting, his horses to ride. Where's the master of the Sarasol? For it's only his uncle come to visit the boy. But he's pricked him, he's pricked him with a long silver pen. The nurse held a basin for the blood to drip in. And how we did suffer, how we did moan, that his cries woke his mother on a sleeping river. how you sleep, leaving my baby to cry and to weep. Well, I've carried him with blankets, I've tried him with bells. So come down, my lady, and walk in yourself. So down came the lady, not thinking no harm. And Lankin stood ready to catch his arms. He was bright and aching. What did you know? Blood on the stairway where the lady did fall. And the smoke the landmaid by the window so high, she spies a master come riding close by. Oh master, don't put blame on me for the falseness and lanky killed your baby. So back you will be taken to the gallows so high. The falseness is burned and the fire grows by. So true, windows to dread, leave no crack for long Lanky.